The city can close in on you. The constant hum of engines, the press of bodies, the endless maze of glass and steel, it all starts to feel like a cage after a while. The noise, the concrete, the endless rush, it wears a man down. Every day blurs into the next, and you start to wonder if you're missing something essential, something wild and untamed. I felt that itch for open spaces and raw nature. My spirit needed an escape. I craved the kind of silence you only find far from the city, where the wind and birds are the only sounds. Lake Toba. The name echoed in my mind, a massive volcanic lake, ancient and powerful. Its waters have seen centuries pass, its shores shaped by fire and time. It called to me like a promise of freedom. Camping on its shores, living by its rhythm for a night, was the challenge I craved. I wanted to feel the cool air off the water, to watch the stars come out with no city lights to dim them. It was time to leave the urban jungle behind. I needed to trade the chaos for calm, the artificial for the authentic. Preparation is key. You don't just walk into the wild unprepared. Every item you pack could mean the difference between comfort and hardship, between safety and risk. I laid out my gear, rucksack, lightweight tent, sturdy boots, and a map marked with possible campsites. Each piece had a purpose: sleeping bag, fire starter, and a sense of anticipation that grew with every item I checked off my list. Knife, cooking pot, headlamp, tools for survival and comfort. I imagined the meals I'd cook by the fire, the darkness broken only by my lamp's glow. Food and water are your fuel. I packed dried meats, enough to keep me going, and thought about the satisfaction of a simple meal after a long trek. Nuts, energy bars, and a filter bottle, essentials for energy and hydration. The wild doesn't forgive carelessness, especially when it comes to water. Never drink directly from the source, always purify. Even the clearest lake can hide invisible dangers. A small first aid kit is a must. Blisters, cuts, insect bites. You manage them, because out here you're your own medic. With my pack loaded, I was ready. Every strap tightened, every pocket filled with purpose. The plan? Drive to the lake, find a secluded spot, and let the adventure unfold. The road ahead was open, full of possibility. Set up camp for the night. There's a special satisfaction in building your own shelter, in making a home wherever you stop. No hotels, no guides, just me and the ancient landscape. The wild doesn't care who you are, it only asks that you respect it. This is where you test yourself, relying on skills and instincts. Out here, every decision matters. Every moment is real. It's about stripping away modern life and connecting with something real. The wild strips you down to your essentials, and in that simplicity you find clarity. The anticipation was building, a familiar thrill before any great expedition. It's the feeling that anything can happen, that you're about to write a new story. The city faded from my thoughts. The weight of routine lifted, replaced by the lightness of possibility. My focus was on the journey ahead, on the shores of Lake Toba. Each step brought me closer to the adventure I'd been craving. The wild was calling, and I was ready to answer. Out here I could finally breathe, finally be myself, and let the adventure begin. The engine roared to life, shattering the silence of the sleeping city. In that moment, anticipation buzzed in the air, mingling with the faint chill of pre-dawn. The world felt paused, as if waiting for the journey to begin. In the early morning darkness, the city lights faded behind me, replaced by the soft glow of a new day on the horizon. The road ahead was empty, promising freedom and discovery. Leaving Medan behind felt like shedding a heavy skin, as if the weight of urban life was slipping away with every passing kilometer. The city's noise and chaos gave way to a peaceful quiet. The road trip to Lake Toba is an adventure in itself, a journey that transforms with every mile. Each turn brought new sights, new sounds, and a sense of wonder that grew stronger the further I traveled. Urban sprawl gives way to green countryside, then dense jungle and rolling hills. The landscape shifts dramatically, painting a living tapestry of nature's resilience and beauty. The air grows cooler and cleaner as you climb into the highlands. Each breath feels fresher, tinged with the scent of earth and wildflowers, a welcome change from the city's haze. The roads twist and turn, revealing breathtaking vistas at every bend. Towering peaks and deep valleys appear suddenly, each view more stunning than the last, urging you to slow down and take it all in. This is ancient volcanic country, humbling in its scale. The land here tells stories of fire and water, of eruptions that shaped the world and left behind a landscape both beautiful and wild. Passing through small villages, life moves at a slower pace. Children wave from the roadside, and the aroma of morning fires drifts through the air, reminding you of the simple joys of rural living. Then I saw it, my first glimpse of Lake Toba. The vastness of the water took my breath away, its surface shimmering in the morning light. A vast expanse of deep blue water, cradled by steep green crater walls. The lake seemed to stretch forever, a hidden world waiting to be explored. Samosir Island sits at its heart, the center of Batak culture. Its traditional houses and vibrant communities are a living testament to the region's rich heritage. The sight is overwhelming, a reminder of nature's power. Standing there, I felt both small and deeply connected to the Earth's ancient rhythms. I drove down to the water's edge, excitement growing with every turn. The promise of adventure was almost tangible, filling me with energy. I found a quiet cove, away from the main road, with volcanic sand and smooth stones. The gentle lapping of the water was soothing, inviting me to pause and take it all in. This would be my home for the night. The peacefulness of the lakeshore promised rest and reflection after a long journey. The real adventure was about to begin, with the mysteries of Lake Toba and the highlands waiting to be discovered as the sun set behind the crater walls. The first rule of setting up camp: choose your ground wisely. I found a flat, dry spot under pine trees, close to the water, but safe from rising levels. My rucksack hit the ground. Time to build my shelter. Setting up my tent is a familiar ritual. Fabric unrolled, poles clicked together, pegs hammered in. In 10 minutes, my canvas home stood ready. I explored the shoreline, boots crunching on volcanic sand. The lake water was crystal clear and cool to the touch. Nature's sounds surrounded me, the lapping waves, insects, distant birds. I gathered dry driftwood for the evening fire, checking for light, clean snapping pieces. My camp was established, shelter up, water nearby, fuel collected. I stood back and surveyed my setup, simple but everything I needed to thrive. The wild was now my home. As the afternoon faded into evening, the sky painted itself in soft hues of orange and purple. It was time to get a fire going, the first step in turning this wild place into a home for the night. Fire is more than just heat, it's the heart of camp, a gathering place and a source of comfort when the wilderness feels vast and lonely. I cleared a patch of ground, carefully arranged driftwood collected from the lakeshore, and struck my ferro rod with practiced hands, sending a shower of sparks onto the waiting tinder. The sparks caught the dry tinder, and soon a crackling fire burned bright, its warmth pushing back the encroaching cool of dusk. The smell of wood smoke filled the air, a primal comfort that connects us to generations of campers and survivors before us. I filled my pot with filtered lake water, set it by the flames, and listened to it begin to bubble and steam, promising a hot meal after a long day. Instant noodles and dried meat might seem humble, but out here they make a simple, high-energy meal that's both filling and satisfying. I ate by the water's edge, the warm food chasing away the evening chill, each bite a reminder of how good the basics can taste when you've worked for them. Every bite tasted better out here, seasoned not just by effort and fresh air, but by the satisfaction of self-reliance and the beauty of the wild. No fancy restaurants, just a hot meal earned through basic skills, resourcefulness, and a willingness to embrace the outdoors. As I ate, I watched the fire dance, its reflection flickering on the calm lake. The world around me quiet, except for the gentle crackle of burning wood. Pure contentment. A reward for stepping outside my comfort zone, for trading convenience for experience and finding peace in simplicity. This is what it's all about. The quiet joy of surviving and thriving, one meal and one moment at a time. As I finished my meal, the sky transformed. The sun dipped behind the crater rim, painting the lake in orange, pink, and purple. I sat on the shore watching nature's silent, majestic performance. The world slowed down, the air cooled, mist forming over the water. Hills became silhouettes against the vibrant sky. In moments like these, you feel small but connected to something vast. The worries of modern life melt away. The last sliver of sun disappeared. Stars began to appear. The beauty of that sunset was now etched in my memory. I sat in the twilight, absorbing the peace. With darkness settled, the night sky was spectacular. The Milky Way stretched overhead, constellations clear and bright. The fire crackled beside me, a small circle of light in the vast dark. Night sounds took over, crickets, frogs, the gentle lapping of waves. Alone in the wild, you sharpen your senses and feel truly alive. I reflected on the day. Simplicity, self-reliance, and peace. A simple shelter, warm fire, hot meal, and a stunning view. True contentment. This wasn't about conquering nature, but living in harmony with it. The fire burned down to embers. I made sure it was safe. Crawling into my tent, I listened to the lake's lullaby. Safe, warm, and relaxed, I drifted off to sleep. The wild offered a deep, restorative peace. I woke to dawn's gentle light filtering through my tent. Mist hung over Lake Toba, the world quiet and still. I reignited the fire for a hot drink, then walked to the water's edge. The silence was absolute, broken only by a distant bird. As the sun rose, it burned away the mist, revealing the lake's vastness. After my morning brew, I broke camp, leaving no trace behind. Packing up, I took one last look at the sparkling water. The adventure was over, but I left with more than I arrived with. Memories of sunset, peace of night, beauty of dawn, these would stay with me. Lake Toba reminded me why we need the wild. It challenges, calms, and connects us to something essential. I turned and began the journey back, spirit full.